So I'm going to teach you about how to have a PhD in sales. If you're a rookie sales rep, you might want to make sure you're not driving while you're listening to this one, because this is warp speed level. So it's all my fault. I take 100% responsibility. I take responsibility for everything, all the wins, all the losses. I take responsibility for my customers' cruddy rates that he's getting from the competition. I take responsibility. Now, on a PhD level in sales, this is what's known as locus of control. What locus of control is, it is the number one above all else. You can have a really high IQ. You can have really good ability to use technology. You can be the best student in the world, or you can have somebody who really connects with customers, a people person, and you can still fail. And they've determined that the number one thing that affects success in people is not your intelligence or your emotional ability or your connection. I actually asked somebody the other day, I said, what's the number one thing that attributes to people's success? And the woman told me, your height. Not true, Napoleon. But as I sat there, the number one thing that they attribute to success is your locus of control. So what is locus of control? Locus of control is your ability to take responsible for you. And technically, you're responsible for everything around you. And you say, Elliot, I can't control the weather. No, but you can control the way you feel about the weather. I see rain and I say, outstanding, it's good for the farm. Somebody else sees rain and says, it's raining on my parade, it's a bad day. I jump in and I do sales training. It's what I sell. I sell sales training to OEMs, big equipment manufacturers, dealerships from Bobcat to Caterpillar. And as I go out and I sell to all the rental companies from New York and Toronto to Vancouver, Seattle, all the way down to El Paso and Miami. When I go in and I work with organizations, the biggest thing, there's always a room, there's tons of sales reps, 20, 30, 40 sales reps. And as I'm training them, there's always a couple of sales reps or leaders or managers that always say, this guy can't teach me anything. I know everything there is to know about sales. I've been doing sales for like 6 years, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing this guy can teach me. He doesn't even understand what I do. They can't teach me nothing. I'm a mediocre sales rep. I'm middle of the pack, but I know everything there is to know. Yep, those guys actually exist in my classes. And the crazy thing is that when I do a simple role play, a very simple activity, how do you handle customer damage? How do you handle national accounts? How do you handle somebody who's beating your price? Simple things that all of us run into as sales reps every day. And I'll give it to that veteran, know everything sales reps, and to say they flounder. And I don't mean, hey, I kind of tripped up a little bit there. I mean completely trash. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. And then the excuse they use is I can't, it's hard to do a sales call when it just happens like that. Let me tell you something. It's called muscle memory. If you've never done something, you do it terribly. But yet when you see a sales rep and you say, customer damage, I had a rental piece of equipment and there's customer damage. It has happened to every sales rep that's been in the rental industry. And the sales rep's like, I've been doing this for 6 years and I don't know how to handle customer damage. Don't tell me that you're too cool for school. So I'll tell you what, the locus of control means your ability to not be that guy that sits in the class and knows everything, but locus of control is I can only control one thing, and that's me. And I will wake up every day and I will do my absolute best. And I understand market situations change. Therefore, I need to change. There's things I don't know. therefore I need to learn. The market adjusts, I need to adjust. I have new competition in town, I should learn about them. Locus of control means you do everything in your power to accept responsibility for you and everything around you. And when you have an amazing level of locus of control the demons in your mind, you are almost guaranteed, destined for greatness. Problem is, I jump in with sales reps and they say, I can't win because there's new competition in town. I can't win because my competitor is too cheap. I can't win because there's no good job sites in town. I can't win because this job site's too far along. And they just go on and on and on. Excuses. But when I say, hey, let me ask you just one really quick question. Tell me the last podcast, the last audiobook, the last YouTube video, the last thing that you did that contributed to your success. And they all go, And I'm like, you're so worried about everything else, you don't have any locus of control. And since you can't control the demons between your ears, you are destined to fail. Hope that helps y'all out. It's kind of a PhD level because most people do not want to accept responsibility. It's just easier to blame everything else on someone else. Have an amazing day. Let me know what I can do to help you out. And if you want, I do a sales training like 201, like really advanced, that gets into all kinds of wicked psychology to help you increase your win ratios and the successful communications you have with customers. If you're too cool for school, you might want to sit down with somebody who's got a PhD. Have a great day and know that I appreciate you.